otherwise, we're going to move on to Craig Gillespie, some DC news, Nane's favorite franchise. Yeah, but Craig Gillespie, he directed Dumb Money that came out last year. He's also done stuff like episodes of Pam and Tommy, I, Tonya, Cruella. And it was first reported, I think, by Variety and Deadline, one of those two, that he was in talks to direct Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. That's the one in the DCU universe, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the next movie after Superman Legacy to be released from that universe. So yeah, and then Hollywood Reporters come out and said, no, he is going to be directing it. So he joins James Gunn, James Mangold, and Andy Muschietti as directors in the DCU now. And James Gunn said, for this character, it's just going to be how we've seen Superman, sent to Earth. He's had loving parents this whole time, but Supergirl's experience, it's going to be, she's watched everyone around her die, and then, she comes to Earth when she's 14 years old. So you're going to get a very contrast. It's going to be a very strong contrast between those two characters, and we're really going to see and explore that in this universe. So, Nayan, you've seen most of the stuff I referenced for Craig Gillespie here. Is he the right director for this? And are you excited to see what they can do with Supergirl in this universe?
Yeah, I am. I haven't seen Dumb Money, so I can't comment on that. But I Tonya definitely have, and that's a fantastic film. And Cruella as well. I've seen that, and that's a really, really good film, considering it's based on a villain, and no one thought that would ever work. It was largely part to him and Emma Stone, which is why it works so well. So I definitely think it can work. I mean, obviously, I, Tonya is probably the best movie in my opinion of his. I have seen Pam and Tommy, but I don't know the exact episodes. And if you did tell me, I probably wouldn't remember anyway. But I did enjoy that one. I did enjoy that series as well. I think he can bring something unique here. I mean, I, Tonya and Cruella are both female-driven films. So he's already has an experience in female leads. And with Millie Alcock being so young as well, I think he is a great director to, to push her to the limits to perform without being too harsh or mean or making her overperform. So I think this is a great director to push a new talent. And I hope I'm right in saying that, and I hope he does do that, and the results at the end of the day is good. But it all comes down to the script, how good that is. At the end of the day, I mean, you can have an A-tier class list of actors, the best director in the world, but if the script shit, then you got nothing. So, you got this here. I'm quite interested in regards to the plot.
It's not really a plot. James Gunn's just said this about Supergirl. I think it's just really about character. Yeah. And just talking about how you're going to see two different sides of these super people, Supergirl and Superman.
Yeah, so I wonder if she'll be a bit more like moody and aggressive, or you know what I mean? Like a bit more darker compared to...
edgy,
Which I think Millie Alcock can do well, because she was sort of that character in House of the Dragon as well, she wasn't superly positive. She was like semi-dark, not quippy, but like, she did banter good, and she was a bit dark in that as well. So I think this is one people should definitely keep an eye on, especially when more news releases as well, for sure.
Yeah, man, it's just getting me very excited for, DCU now. We're getting some really great directors. Maybe Andy Muschietti's not a part of that. Great. But, James Gunn, James Mangold, and now Craig Gillespie, I think they're all proven. I love what you said about how he's has experience with female leads. He is really good at getting great female performances. Now, mind you, I haven't seen Cruella, but I've heard really great things about the movie and about Emma Stone in particular. And sure enough, it's Emma Stone and Margot Robbie for these two movies. But remember before I, Tonya, man, like Margot Robbie wasn't really known as this, A-tier, really great actress. Oh, this might be an Oscar movie if she's in it kind of thing. She was in Wolf of Wall Street and other bits and bobs before I, Tonya. But I think I, Tonya really showcased her ability as an actress. And I remember watching Tonya, and I'm like, oh, wow, she can really act. I thought she was just going to be that next pretty face of Hollywood, but she's turned out to be so much more than that, and it's really great to see. And it all started with Tonya and, Craig Gillespie's direction for it. So I'm really excited. I did see Dumb Money that released last year. It was fine. It wasn't anything impressive or anything, so it's not. I don't really know how to judge this movie per se. I know that it's a competent director and not one who's, had, really low lows as a director. So it gives me a bit of faith that this movie is going to be something good. I mean, I've seen lots of stuff about how it should have been a female director for this and all that stuff. But I mean, I think as long as, James Gunn's choosing the right people for the right job, I think that's all that really needs to be done when it comes to the directing job. As long as Craig Gillespie's direction is, faithful to the character of Supergirl and does it justice alongside Millie Alcock, bringing that performance and that character to life. I think that's really the only goals for this. So I hope that's the direction they've gone, and it certainly seems the way they're going to do it. So yeah, as for that last part that I said about, the plot and the character, I like that, and particularly what you said about her being maybe perhaps a little bit more aggressive or edgier. I think it's going to be something cool and something we haven't really seen. I'm very limited on anything Supergirl, but I haven't seen something like that before, and I think it's just going to be cool to see, Superman, a heart of gold kind of character versus one that's kind of a character that's very vengeful and angry and lacks kind of hope. I think that's going to be really cool to see how it kind of comes to terms and how it really fits into the larger DCU as a whole. But I mean, there's some direction in this universe now. I'm excited. I'm ready for next year for when it starts to get underway. Yeah. I don't want to say I'm hopeful. I cannot trust it again, man, because my excitement for DCU was beyond anything. Probably anything I've had with the MCU, perhaps, except for Infinity War and Endgame. But yeah, I was let down so hard, and you were let down more than me. So it makes it even sadder. Yeah. But to you guys watching this segment, what do you guys think? Is Craig Gillespie the right guy for this job? Is he the one that should be bringing Supergirl to life? Is there any other picks that you had? Let us know down below. We can have a conversation on perhaps your favorite director and what they could actually do with this character.